Hi, this is Mike, and we're looking at XLM. So I just want to talk about where I expect the correction to fall and why. So if you remember the analysis at all, you'll understand that we're in wave C, right? So we're still yet to see waves C, D, and E occur in this market. So for those that don't believe XLM can fall that low, well, we still need to see, right, those waves occur. And until they occur, I can't say that this is bottomed. Okay. Now, according to the Bitcoin analysis, we are expecting a probably fairly decent move down for Wave E, but it also coincides with other markets that are also falling in the process, such as oil, the Dow Jones, and the euro correcting lower in Wave 2. Right. So my latest chart I posted just before indicates the full wave one up has ended and we're in wave two now. Okay, so that paints a pretty decent picture, enough for me to suggest that this C wave could extend below the 2020 support, which as I've mentioned before, more recently I've mentioned that um, this is not going to provide any support for two reasons. One, it's just wave four. Okay, it's not a wave one anymore. According to this view, we had a truncation. All right, as per my previous idea, the truncation video, I'll link a few videos down below that are related. So also the other reason is because price action usually falls back down to the previous fourth wave of wave three. Okay, I know that's very specific, but that's how I see it. So therefore, that would mean that we're going to see prices potentially fall down to 0.007, right? Because remember, we still need to see C, D, and E. And so far, any move up, like a D wave, is very small in these corrections because these are sharp corrections that need to correct in order to prepare for the move higher, right? So that's what this is all about. That's my view. That's, if you don't agree, that's fine. We'll find out in the long run, and then you can um, just look back through my ideas and see for yourself. Okay, now I'm working with the idea that we're about to go into a third of a third wave here. So we had, since B wave ended, had wave one, two, one, two, right? So regardless of whether this was a one or a four, the corrections are still the same. It's just all about identifying the correction, right? So at the small degree, I'll show you as I move closer to this pattern. You can see that I've labeled out the zigzag I saw for A. So it was large, right? And then a B, a C, a small d, and E. Okay. The reason for the small d, you can see there's a zigzag in there. So I'll go to the 15-minute chart so you can see it more clearly. Right back here. Okay, you can see that's a zigzag move, right? So whenever we're expecting a move, if we see something that doesn't make sense, then you look at it accordingly, right? I could have also assumed that potentially this was the start of a D wave. Also could have been like the A wave could have been subdividing into a weak 5-way move, except when you look at the next waves that occurred, I don't see that. I just see 5 waves down, which is the beginning of a move, and then I see a subsequent sharp A, B, C, D, E pattern, which is the end of wave 2. Okay, so that's my view there. When I posted that idea, that's what it was based on, and so far we have seen price fall beneath that level and never going back to that red line, which was the end of wave E. Okay, so wave 1, 2 occurred, and then now we're in wave 3. As you can see, price has remained in this area, and I do believe wave 2 already has ended, and we are just correcting within a tight range. So I'll just go into the 5-minute chart so you can see quite clearly what I'm talking about. So here we had the first move down for wave 3 in progress. We had an A, B, C, D, E, right? I do believe that is a complete wave E now. And what we're seeing since is a 1, I think it's a B, C, D, E in progress. So we could be fairly close to moving lower. The confirmation for this would be a break of this magenta line. We cannot go above the red line if this is the case. If this red line gets taken out, that means wave E was still in progress. And as you can tell by some wave E's that I've labeled, they can get pretty messy. So really hard to identify at the small degree. That's why we need to use certain levels as, confirmation. So yeah, soon, hopefully we'll see this give us some kind of confirmation. But there's probably a good reason why price has maintained in this little sideways pattern is because the trend is down and there's no deep corrections at this point. All the deep corrections have been had at the higher degrees, right? Remember, we're in a third of a third wave. Okay, the trend is down. So this explains that type of thing. So shorting from this point, your stop would be above 0.09, or if you really want to, if you didn't short back then, although that is probably the best spot, 0.0939, but it's all around the same area. It's just price doesn't tend to come back that easily when you're dealing with wave threes, as I've mentioned, right? That's why we have this sideways price action. So soon we'll see how that pans out. Obviously, I don't know how low wave C will go. I can only, guesstimate that potentially it might head to the lows. Wave C might end maybe just below it potentially, and then wave D will occur, and then wave E will occur, right? I really don't see, actually, I don't really know how that's going to work out. Like, I don't know if D is going to bounce hard, right? It's just not known. So at this point, the short position, it would be risky to keep it on if wave C ends, when wave C ends. However, if wave C goes to 0.007, I would consider that the low. I would expect wave D to potentially expand up, and E wave should end higher. It would be my guess. Obviously, we have to see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. But C waves can be brutal. They can produce pretty large moves, and the rest of the correction might extend. It's just because by the time that happens, we don't really know what the situation would be within the euro, Bitcoin, etc. But that's fine. It doesn't make a difference. By the time you hit that level anyway, I mean, you're probably going to want to buy anyway. It's probably going to be the cheapest it'll ever be. You don't have to believe it's going to go that low. That's fine. No one's asking you to believe anything. No one's even asking you to watch this stuff, right? It's just my analysis, my view, my opinion, not financial advice. So yeah, hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.